Yeah, hit the like button. Hit the like button now. Dun 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 dun. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Like button, please. Hit the like button. We're gonna go over a pop the balloon on Rumble. This is how we're gonna do it. This is how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna stay on here for probably like 30 minutes. And if we don't get the donations up, I'm gonna go do a pop the balloon over on Rumble. And then we can still get the donations up over on Rumble, but I'll just be finishing the live stream on Rumble. Can we get the likes up? Can we get the likes up? When we do that. So yeah. $25 live stream goal to keep me on 2 hours. Whatever you can give is greatly appreciated. Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs, all at the top of the chat. Or super chat, super sticker, dollar symbol on the right of the chat box. Let's get into this ridiculous nonsense.
Get ready with me while I tell you about the first date I was supposed to go on tonight, except the guy canceled 20 minutes before because he said that I'm a liar.
This woman tried to catfish this man. He found out about it and she got dumped.
I'm after this guy on Hinge. Everything was going really well. He planned a really nice dinner date for tonight that I was really excited about. And we were just texting a little bit, before the date, as you do. And he said, by the way, I really like your profile picture. I'm excited to hear the story behind it. And my profile picture is a photo of me in Greece. I have never been to Greece, and it's an AI generated photo. So I thought about it, and then I admitted that it was AI generated.
What kind of shit is that?
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Me in Greece. I have never been to Greece, and it's an AI generated photo. So I thought about it, and then I admitted that it was AI generated, and he canceled the date and told me that I'm a liar. Is that not ridiculous? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I think that is unhinged behavior.
This is almost quite literally the definition of catfishing. Y'all get mad when a man says he's 6 feet, but then he actually ends up being 5'10". 2 inches difference. And y'all want to call the man a liar.
The men being prescribed the red pill, what they're hearing often is, let's blame women that they are hypergamous. Let's blame women that they sometimes want a man that's good looking. Let's blame women that they want someone who makes a lot of money. Let's blame women for liking alpha males and not liking me. That's something that I see so often with what people take the red pill descriptors as, and they...
It's much deeper than that. Much, much deeper. Hey, look, I don't tell men to be mad at women. I encourage men to laugh at women and not care about them. Yeah, they're not worth being mad at. I'm not mad that women like tall, handsome alpha males. Why wouldn't they? Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I mean, look, they're gonna get look. The joke's on them. There's not enough tall, handsome alpha males to go around. Let's just say 20% of men are that. The other 80% of women are just gonna get fucked over. They're just gonna get used they're just gonna get used up by those men and still end up single and miserable. So hey, be my guest. I ain't mad at you.
blame women that they want someone who makes a lot of money. Let's blame women for liking alpha males and not liking me. That's something that I see so often with what people take the red pill descriptors as, and they internalize it towards maybe their own low self-esteem or their own inability to attract women. And instead of working on improving themselves,
Here's the thing. Once you find out what their true nature is, you won't want to attract them like that. You really will stop caring. Like once you see their dog shit character and what the trajectory is for most relationships with them, you really will stop caring genuinely about getting one or attracting one.
that I see so often with what people take the red pill descriptors as, and they internalize it towards maybe their own low self-esteem or their own inability to attract women. And instead of working on improving themselves to become attractive to women, they point the finger and they say, how could women be like this? They should like me. And now they're mad at women's preferences.
Man in the comments here says, maybe at first I was mad since I was destroyed in court by a feminist and a misandrist court system. But now, like most red pill types, I have boundaries that I follow. And if she's not into that, then I move on. The issue is there are reasonable boundaries that men are setting, and feminists call it controlling. But she gets to have whatever boundaries and expectations that she wants. And if you don't follow those, then all of a sudden you're misogynistic. I don't blame women. I blame feminism for brainwashing these women into thinking delusion is reality. Pretty well stated.
There's a gentleman who said to a lady, if you ever catch me cheating, dump me. Because if I catch you, I will dump you. A few months later, he cheats. She forgives him, so he cheats a few more times after that. Out of frustration and anger, she ends up chatting to somebody else. The guy ends up seeing the chats. Hi, how are you? Good morning, beautiful. Having a nice day, blah, blah, blah. Then the guy ends up dumping the girl and says, no, but you're entertaining other men. She tried to explain until she turned blue. Uguti, no, but that was not technically cheating. It's because of you. The guy said, did I not say to you, if you ever catch me cheating, dump me because...
I got a feeling this guy didn't really want to be with this woman either way. He was setting up a scenario where she could dump him. See, a lot of men are scared to dump women for whatever reason. Men will want to not be with her, but hope that she leaves first for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But yeah, safe to say this guy didn't really want to be with her. Let's get the likes up. We're moving over to Rumble here soon to do a pop the balloon. If y'all want me to stay on 2 hours, let's get the donations up. Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs all at the top of the chat.
That was not technically cheating. It's because of you. The guy said, did I not say to you, if you ever catch me cheating, dump me, because if I catch you, I will. And you deciding to forgive me was your choice. You decided that. Now I'm making my choice. I don't want a cheater, said the guy.
A woman in the comments said, yeah, the instructions were clear. She chose to ignore them. Another woman said men know their worth and they always put themselves first.
A third of men, 33%, a little over a third of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. So I've got a question for the men. So my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done.
You know, I'm seeing more and more of these videos, and honestly, it makes me sad because guys have told women why. We've made it very clear why we're walking away, and we're walking away in droves.
Does this woman really give a damn, or is she just trying to get likes and comments to boost her algorithm? I'm going to go with the latter. Look, women don't give a flying fuck about really the bottom 90% of men. They don't care what they're doing. They only care to the extent that it affects them, like maybe they got less simps subscribing to their OnlyFans or something. Like they only care to that extent. It's really that simple. So you never get tricked into believing that most of these bitches give a damn about your struggle or plight.
You know, I'm seeing more and more of these videos, and honestly, it makes me sad because guys have told women why. We've made it very clear why we're walking away. And we're walking away in droves, and it's only going to get worse because you're not hearing why we're walking away. It's very simple. Don't read between the lines. Hear these words. There is absolutely no benefit anymore to being in a relationship with a woman for a man. None. Zero. Zilch. Especially when you consider the risk compared to any potential reward. Roughly 55% of marriages end in divorce and the guy loses everything. Add into it all the relationships where they weren't married and the guy lost access to his kids and had to pay mountains of child support and so on. When you really look at it, there's less than a 1 in 4 chance of having a successful relationship. Would you risk?
Don the contractor says we want peace, loyalty, respect, and love. We get none of that today. Craig Campbell said the reward is not worth the effort. Gerald PAMT said, I have a $1.3 million house. I own 3 cars. I have $1 million in stocks. I make $225,000 yearly. I work hard for all I have and I'm not risking it to a woman. I'm looking at that $1.3 million house. He's going to have to give up at least one of those cars. He's going to have to split that house. He's going to have to sell it and split the cash on that. I have $1 million in stocks. He's going to have to cash that out, split that.
Well, here's the thing. You can benefit from having a girlfriend or live out girlfriend or whatever if you clearly have all the power and leverage in the relationship. In situations like that, it's arguably worth it. But usually only top 1 to top 10% of men have that type of leverage for it to be worth it. Because those type of guys keep women at bay and keep women trying to keep their attention and trying to stay on their team and stay on their good side.
That or give her half of the shares. I don't know how it really works there. That's my ignorance. And then the 225 yearly, if he has children or if he's in a state where they have to pay alimony, that's going to her. I worked hard for all of it and I'm not risking it. Exactly. Risk management, man, is just business.
Unpopular opinion, but hypergamy is not all that it's cracked up to be. Or at least how the social media influencers that sell you these courses and these workshops try to make it out to be. Because let's be real. This is coming from a person who has dated affluent men, and I've dated not so affluent men. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting financial security and stability, right?
That's not what it's about for these bitches. We all know that. It's about Gucci and Louis and fancy trips. Yeah, that's what it's about. A man making 60, 70K could provide that. Along with her income. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's not just about, put me in a safe neighborhood and, start saving up for our retirement. A lot of men could do that. Or figure out a way to do that. If that's all they were looking for, yeah. Most guys could provide it, and most of these chicks would have been married. They're looking for a affluent lifestyle. But yeah, bitch, like everything else in life, there's pros and cons, ups and downs to it. Shocker. What do I always say? Women want the best of everything and the worst of nothing, and that's never going to be how life works in any area of life.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Affluent men. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting financial security and stability, right? Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But in many cases, not that you can't have the man of your dreams, it's going to come with sacrifice. And a lot of times it's going to be your many cases, not that you can't have the man of your dreams, it's going to come with sacrifice. And a lot of times it's going to be your emotional needs, right? Yes, you can meet Big Papa that spoils you, wines and dines you, all the, all that goodness, pays your bills. But what about your emotional needs, right? You decide in your mind, you make it up that you're okay with him, having other women. You're cool with his, quarterly trips to those passport bro countries, with his friends. You pretend to be cool with his ED. Y'all know what that is, because it really don't be working like that after a certain age. For the love of money, that's cool. But at the end of the day, you know how you really feel on the inside.
Well, it doesn't matter because you ruined yourself for anything decent with a decent, normal man. So keep being okay with it, bitch. But it's like I always say, women are going to find a way to be miserable. They're not happy until they find something to be miserable about. Until they find something to complain on TikTok about. Yeah, you're finally growing up, realizing that life's not a perfect fairy tale, and life's about trade-offs. Unfortunately, it's too late for you to successfully go to the other side. So learn how to cope with this, and hopefully, he stick in there and don't kick you to the curb when your looks start to fade. Yeah, you made the wrong choice.
Because it really don't be working like that after a certain age. For the love of money, that's cool. But at the end of the day, you know how you really feel on the inside. Oh, and I forgot to mention, because they do everything for you, they feel like it's okay to disrespect you and that you must be at their begging call. Okay? So to prevent this dynamic, so to speak, be a woman who already has her own financial future secured. Don't see hypergamy as an opportunity for a man to come to save you and rescue you. Because anyone who has the ability to feed you also has the ability to starve you.
Yeah, and that's a concept that a third grader should have been able to put together before they signed up for this life. I mean, yeah, that's basic elementary shit that you didn't know beforehand. Sure, typical dingbat. Women really think they're gonna get good dick, emotional availability, and intelligence, and a nigga to pay all their bills. You lucky to get one of those. If you were smart, you would pick somebody who genuinely cares about you and want to see the best for you over good dick and money. But y'all don't have the character to do that on average.
That's just my opinion. I'm open to you guys' thoughts in the comments.
Well, these men have options, and so they don't have to sit around and listen to foolishness. I think that's actually the phrase that you're looking for. I think that's actually the idea that you're going for, that you're trying to explore. A lot of these ladies think that I saw in one clip a woman saying, women in the comments were talking about how they cuss men out and they do it to a grown man's face. And she was stunned that so many women did this and advocated for doing this.
They need one right in the kisser. That'll get them right. I advocate women like that getting one right in the kisser. I mean, I don't advocate it because then you're gonna go down. But I would sign that petition to make it a law where if a broad getting all in your face, you can give her one right in the kisser.
Was stunned that so many women did this and advocated for doing this. They think that you're going to go out here and do whatever to a man, treat a man a certain way, any kind of way, and a man's not going to do anything about it. Oh yeah, you deserve it. Oh yeah, go ahead. Absolutely not.
So yeah, I'm going over to Rumble tonight so we can go over a pop the balloon. But I'm still taking donations to stay on 2 hours over at Rumble. So yeah, let's get the donations up if y'all want me to stay on 2 hours. Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs all at the top of the chat. In about 10 minutes or so, I'm gonna move over to Rumble so we can go over a pop the balloon. So if you want to see me there, the link is below. The link is below to join the Rumble.
A man treat a man a certain way, any kind of way, and a man's not going to do anything about it. Oh yeah, you deserve it. Oh yeah, go ahead. Absolutely not. Y'all can do them simps that way. You're not going to get in my face and be acting a fool. Get out my house.
Now, posting this, I'm going to get some crazy comments, but it's just what I think, just what I feel. I think leading women to believe that they're less valuable in the dating market as they get older, and like if they have children, you know, single moms, is the biggest collective gaslighting I've ever seen.
It's not gaslighting. The people who you're trying to get with sets your worth. Like the person you're trying to get to like you or accept you gets to set your worth in that context. If I have a dream to work for Google, Google doesn't set my worth as a human, but they do set my worth as a Google candidate. You know? They get to set my worth. And if I want to work for Google, I'm going to do everything in my power to have a high status as far as, you know, their applicants. Same thing on the dating market. The type of guy you want to marry you or get with you gets to set your worth. As far as the position of being his girlfriend or wife. Who else would set it? Like, they just talking, man.
Market as they get older, and like if they have children, you know, single moms, is the biggest collective gaslighting I've ever seen. What I think is that as you get older, you're better, you're wiser, you're smarter, at least if you heal, right? And a mom, let alone a single mom, right?
Men don't get with women to be wiser and smarter. We need you to suck, cook, and take direction. We don't give a fuck how wise you are. If anything, all your bad dating experiences made you more disagreeable to a man. Another reason why your value decreases with age. It's not even just about the looks. The longer you stay on the dating market, the worse option you're going to be for a man in a relationship.
As you get older, you're better, you're wiser, you're smarter, at least if you heal, right? And a mom, let alone a single mom, right? Like, first of all, why are we moms at all? Like, we all got one. It's kind of how you're here on this planet. So don't know.
Another stupid argument. Men aren't shitting on the fact that a woman is a mother. They're just saying we don't want to date one. We're not saying they're horrible people or women shouldn't become moms. We're just saying, as far as a dating prospect, we're not interested in raising another man's child. It makes total sense, actually.
What the heck you're doing with that one, but like mothers should be worshipped, protected. Like they do something that.
So all the drug addict moms that left their kids in a garbage can, moms who abuse their kids, we should worship them too, right? Now shut your dumb ass up.
Is this camera on me? Yes. That's stupid. Use your common sense.
Planet. So don't know what the heck you're doing with that one, but like mothers should be worshipped, protected. Like they do something that is so sacred and important and is like literally, again, why we're all here, right? And it's like, to be a mom, let alone a single mom, the things that you have to tap into within yourself. I'm not a single mom, but like women that I know who are.
You need to worry about your damn self then. I mean, this fucking rant would have made more sense if you were one. Look, you're a train wreck. You need to be focusing on your own situation and not talking about some shit that ain't directly affecting you.
The things that you have to tap into within yourself. I'm not a single mom, but like women that I know who are moms and are single moms, they're like some of the most wise, powerful, capable women that I've ever seen.
I hope this camera keep going.
No, we're gonna
This
let
is
the
not
camera keep rolling.
true. This is not, doesn't even make sense.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. What niggas spy out you, nigga? Shut the fuck up.
Like women that I know who are moms and are single moms, they're like some of the most wise, powerful, capable women that I've ever seen.
Get the likes up, please. Let's get the likes up.
That are able to just like have such a precision with their time and energy, like throughout their day-to-day, like their day-to-day life. And it's like, I'm like, I'm playing small. And like having that energy, that embodiment as your life partner, you could only be so lucky. We could all only be so lucky. And I just think that if older women...
Does she really believe that the type of men that most women respect are on videos like this taking notes? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Women don't even respect men who seriously take their dating advice.
partner, you could only be so lucky. We could all only be so lucky. And I just think that if older women, single moms, it's really just about knowing that. Because when you don't know that, you date like
This woman is literally walking back and forth in the woods or some shit in a meadow, making a fucking TikTok. This is just cringe. Look, we're moving over to Rumble. Let me put a link in the description. We're about to move over to Rumble. Still taking donations if y'all want me to stay on 2 hours. But we're going over to Rumble. I'm about to put the link in the live chat. We're gonna go over to Pop the Balloon. Gonna review a Pop the Balloon. All right. I'm gonna play like one more minute or two to let everybody get over to Rumble. Link in the description.
single moms. It's really just about knowing that. Because when you don't know that, you date like right? And it's like your boundaries suck. And you feel insecure when you shouldn't. You shouldn't feel insecure. You shouldn't. And that's really the only problem, right? Is believing that there's something wrong with you. And so you date accordingly. You live your life accordingly. You treat yourself.
See, what really screws up these, 28 plus fucked up women and single moms and shit like that. What really curse them the most, really, this is what curse a lot of women. They still got some looks on them, or they still, fit. So they're still keeping that ego. There's only one type of good woman, and that's a humble woman. Yeah. An arrogant woman rarely wins in the dating market. The only time they act like decent human beings is when they've been humble. So usually, if they were average looking, having a kid out of wedlock would have did the proper humbling for them to, settle for a guy that would actually be settling for them, and maybe they could make something work, and actually put in some effort in being a decent human being to another human being. But even though they're a single mom and they're getting older, the fact that they're still fit and kind of cute is what keeps their expectations unrealistic, and is stopping them from actually getting with somebody who they possibly could work out with. Um, all right, I'm going over to Rumble, y'all. See you there, maybe.